To many, Baltimore has been a stopover to Kent. The old school Colts won Super Bowl V. This year, the new school Ravens have begun their own winning tradition. The Ravens are an NFL powerhouse and on the fringe of their first playoff berth, and the first one for Baltimore since 1977. It's the NFL on CBS. It's the National Football League on CBS for Baltimore. The Ravens and Chargers and the Legends are in attendance. Johnny Unitas to watch the Ravens clinch a playoff spot.
You heard about Benny the Bison?
No, what?
He never checked out the risk and overall performance of those mutual funds he bought.
Well, Benny's no brain surgeon, right?
When we created a smarter kind of investment firm, we created a smarter kind of investor with tools like the Schwab Select List, which highlights historically high-performing mutual funds. Visit schwabwelcome.com to order a free copy of the Select List.
You don't do your homework, you end up looking ridiculous.
Welcome back to Baltimore. Chilly day, 38 degrees, wind chill in the 30s. San Diego has won the toss. They will receive Brian Billick. What a sensational job he's done in his second season. He has the Ravens one win away from the playoffs. And Mike Riley on the other sideline. Matt Stover sends it away. Short kick takes a bounce and picked up by Kenny Bynum. And Bynum over the 25 to the 28-yard line. Corey Harris with the special teams tackle along with Brad Jackson. And it's a return of 14 yards. So Ryan Leaf making his 16th career start. Trots onto the field, and Brent, he was having a pretty good game against the 49ers last week until the fourth quarter when he threw 4 interceptions.
And you know, he has a strong arm, makes some throws that other guys can't make around the league, but he's got to work on his accuracy. That's the key. Can't miss those open receivers.
First down and 10 from the 28-yard line. Here's a handoff, and the Ravens in on the play immediately. Mike McCrary. Already some pressure by the Ravens defense offensively for the Chargers. Let's take a look. Coleman, Roundtree, Fortin, Domingo Graham starting in place of Kevin Gogan, who's out with a knee injury. And the backs and receivers, Freddie Jones having a Pro Bowl year at tight end. A loss of 4, second and 14. From the 24, handoff over the left side, no room at all. Sam Adams, first man to him. And this crowd is violent to start this game. Defensively for the Ravens, they have the #1 defense in the National Football League. They give up only 10 points a game. Burnett, McCrary, Adams, Saragusa are the run stoppers. The linebackers, Ray Lewis, some feel, is the MVP of the season. And in the secondary, Starks and McAllister, 2 young corners, the great Rod Woodson and Kim Herring. Third down, 14 from the 24. They need to get to the 38 for a first down. Here's the handoff, and not a lot of room. They get over the 30-yard line, up to the 34-yard line. Jermaine Fazand running the football. It's a gain of 11, but they're short of the first down.
And Mike Riley told us today that they would stick with the run. They can't be one-dimensional and go into throwing the ball all the time, or this Ravens defense will tee off on Ryan Leaf. You see the draw call there on third down. Not a bad call. 3rd and 15. That's a tough one to make.
So Darren Bennett ready to punt it away to Jermaine Lewis. He's averaging 12.4 yards per return, 4th in the AFC. Bennett from the 20. Wobbly kick to the sideline and out of bounds. Jermaine Lewis having a hard time controlling the punt, a 39-yard punt. And that brings Trent Dilfer onto the field, and Dilfer replaced Tony Banks as the starter during the Pittsburgh game. 4-1 as a starter with Baltimore, and he's doing everything right, Brent.
And he has, and he's hit all his weapons, Gus, and look for him early to concentrate on hitting Shannon Sharp. That's his go-to guy. Look for Sharp catching 4 or 5 balls early here in the first quarter, and then he's going to open it up and go after this Charger defense downfield.
Sharp lines up at tight end at the bottom of your screen. Play action. Dilfer, sack, loose ball. And it's covered up at the 20-yard line. Mike Flynn jumped on it. And some early pressure by that San Diego defense.
And that looked like Al Fontenot, 95, getting back there, as well as the interior defensive line. Watch Fontenot coming from the outside, and John Perella coming up inside. And it looked like Trent Dilfer was getting ready to throw that ball, Gus. Maybe just get that arm back. Let's see, here comes watch 97. Well, he was starting to get it going forward, but took the shot, and that ball was loose.
33rd sack given up by the Ravens offensive line, 2nd and 16. And this is Lewis over the right side. And Jamal Lewis, the rookie out of Tennessee. Let's take a look at the offense for the Ravens. Jonathan Ogden, probably the best left tackle in football. Mulatalo, Mitchell Flynn, and Spencer Falau. The backs and receivers, there's Jamal, the 5th overall pick. Shannon Sharp, the tight end, leads the team in receptions coming into this game with 57. 3rd down and 13 from the 23. Here comes the blitz. Flag on the play. Dilfer underneath. It is caught. Kadri Ismail juggles the ball, and it will depend on the spot. Ismail close to a first down. It's a gain of 13 yards.
And Gus, I think because of the juggle, Kadri Ismail is going to have lost that first down. Chargers were offsides anyway. Ravens doing a nice job going on the second sound. Caught San Diego in a blitz.
Offsides. Number 22, defense. That penalty is declined. First down.
So a first down for the Ravens.
Well, they did get it. So even in spite of the juggle, Trent Dilfer putting it right on Kadri Ismail. You see the Chargers offside right there, running a nice deep in route on the backside.
1st and 10 from the 37. This is Lewis over the left side, and is tripped up in the backfield by guess who? Junior Seau. He's the leader of this defense. Defensively for the Chargers, Fontenot and Mickle on the ends, with Jamal Williams and John Perella in the middle. Junior Seau, 9-time Pro Bowler. Orlando Ruff and Gerald Dixon. And in the secondary, Deron Jenkins, the right corner, played here in Baltimore last year. Makir Brown, Beckett, the rookie, starting at free safety, and Rodney Harrison. 2nd down and 9 from the 38. Shannon Sharp in motion. Here's Dilfer to the sideline, and he underthrows it. Ball intended for Patrick Johnson.
Gus, I think we're going to see a lot of the San Diego pressure coming from the right side of the Baltimore line. Spencer Falau filling in today for Harry Swain, right tackle. And I think that's where the Chargers feel like they can make something happen. So watch this right side of the Ravens offensive line and see if San Diego doesn't really try to put pressure over that right tackle, right guard spot.
3rd down and 9 from the 38. They need to get to the 47 for a first down. Dilfer on the rollout. Fires. Caught. Ismail. Kadri Ismail. And a nice throw and grab. A 16-yard gain.
When Trent Dilfer put a lot of juice on that ball. Watch outside. Ismail coming back, running that deep back out route. Watch Makir Brown gamble for that interception. He thinks he's got it. Doesn't get it. Little big gamble, leaves that wide receiver to go down the sideline. Nice throw by Trent Dilfer. That's putting some mustard on that ball.
Kadri Ismail out of Syracuse, 2 catches, 30 yards, first down and 10. Lewis over the right side, tackled from behind. And it's Darren Mickle jumping on his back.
And just remember, a lot of teams haven't got rich running versus the San Diego Charger defense. They take a lot of pride in that. Their pass defense is what has let them down this year. And Brian Billick the coach of the Ravens, he loves to throw the ball. He told us they wanted to have a balanced attack today, though. Going into the playoffs, they want to have that balanced attack, being able to run that ball with Jamal Lewis and not just try to throw it 40, 45 times a game.
Lewis, the second leading rookie rusher in the National Football League, behind Denver's Mike Anderson. 2nd and 8 from the 45. 8th play of the drive. Dilfer short drop, finds Ismael once again, and Kadri picks up a first down. At the 33, it's a gain of 10.
And that's just a case of Fakir Brown being in off coverage about 15 yards deep. Kadri Ismail runs out, just runs a 10-yard hook route, sits right there. Little throw and catch. Very simple.
And Trent Dilfer off to a quick start. Dilfer spent his first 6 years in Tampa, left Fresno State after his junior season, and was the 6th overall selection. First down and 10. He is 3 of 4, 42 yards. Dilfer. It is tipped at the line of scrimmage. And a flag on the play.
And the ball was tipped, and so there's not interference, Gus. Once that ball's tipped, you can hit the receiver, and that's what I think what the officials are discussing right now. They threw the flag in the area of Rodney Harrison.
There is no pass interference. The ball was tipped at the line of scrimmage prior to this. It's an incomplete pass, 2nd down.
And sometimes that's tough for the referee in the defensive secondary, being able to see that ball tipped. Watch John Perella right here go ahead and tip this ball. Gets up, good timing, just gets his fingers on it. And sometimes it's tough for that referees to see. They're checking the receivers. You see that interference and they call it.
2nd down, 10, delayed handoff. Lewis picking up yardage and gets to the 25-yard line. Rogers Beckett, the rookie safety, with the tackle, but it's an 8-yard gain. And the Ravens coming out as if they were shot out of a cannon. A nice opening drive, 10 plays, 49 yards.
Very emotional Ravens team before the start of today's game. Their first chance to make the playoffs. First time for a lot of the players on this team, and they are not going to let down versus San Diego team. And watch for them going after the free safety, Rogers Beckett, in this red zone. I know they're going to take some shots deep into the end zone when they get down here.
Here's the handoff. This time, Priest Holmes picks up the first down at the 20-yard line. Beckett again with the tackle. So in the AFC Central, the Ravens still with an opportunity to not only get into the playoffs, but to win the division. They'll need some help. Tennessee taking on Cincinnati today.
And you know, if they do tie, Baltimore will actually have the tiebreaker because of a fluke in the schedule. They play one more conference game, and that would be advantage Baltimore. And so they'd win that tiebreaker.
Next week, they'll play Arizona and wrap up the regular season against the Jets. 1st and 10 from the 21-yard line. Dilfer to the sideline, caught by Ismael. Kadri Ismael is really carving up the San Diego secondary.
And let's watch Kadri Ismail going against his old teammate, Deron Jenkins. They should both know each other pretty well, going out and setting himself up with the inside-out route. You turn inside, the back thinks you're going for the curl route, then you take a step out, have the quarterback throw it to your outside shoulder. Tough for defensive backs to defense.
Ismael, 4 catches on this drive alone. He had a 1,000-yard season last year, 68 catches. 2nd and 4 from the 16. And Dilfer calls a timeout. So Trent Dilfer walks to the sideline, 6:11 to go. Ravens threatening. At the 16-yard line, they've scored on 13 of their past 15 red zone trips. Here's the handoff. It's Lewis, and he drags people down to the 10-yard line. It's a gain of 6. Jamal Lewis. Chargers 3 and out. And the Ravens, this is their first drive of the game. 13 plays, and they've had it for 7 minutes. Brings up first down and 10 at the San Diego 11. Out of the I formation, gashing Lewis. Lewis, the deep man. Here he is over the right side, lowers his head, and he may have gotten a yard. John Perella plugging up the hole. Brian Billick is the play caller on the sideline. His team faced with 2nd and 9 in the red zone. What does he like to run down here, Brent?
Well, I think right now, 2nd down, Gus, you got to take a shot into the back of the end zone. They've got a route that they call the Dino route. They line up a slot guy and make the safety make a decision which receiver to cover. They're not coming out in that formation, but look for him to take a crack. Maybe Shannon Sharp here, the one-on-one matchup.
2nd and 9. Lewis met in the backfield and ridden down. Al Fontenot, the left end. Very nice play.
See, I just don't believe that you can get rich running versus this San Diego Charger defense. Nobody's done it all year. And you see right there, Junior Seau getting in, putting the pressure on Al Fontenot as well. You just are calling the San Diego defense out if you say, hey, we're going to run the ball on you, because that's where their pride lies. They do not let anybody do that. 2nd down and 10, that was a tough call, I think, to make.
3rd down and 14 from the 15-yard line. On the 16th play of the drive, Gilbert sprinting out, looking, and it's caught. Priest Holmes with the reception, well short of the first down, however. And that will bring on the field goal team. Junior Seau with the tackle. And an injured player, Adrian Dingle, little woozy. So we'll take a timeout, 3:54 to go, no score.
Blockbuster, bringing entertainment home.
Great thing about coming to Baltimore, as an announcer, they give you crab cakes during halftime in the press box. Meanwhile, this will be Stover in to attempt a 32-yard field goal. It's up and good. Matt Stover, 32 of 35 on the season, and the Ravens take a 3-0 lead.
Kurt Warner has no room for wiggle. He's got to come out firing like an MVP.
The NFL Today, Sunday on CBS.
Baltimore with the early lead after a 17-play drive. On that drive, they ran the ball 8 times, and they passed it 8 times, and then Stover came in and nailed the field goal.
It's still tough to run versus this Charger defense on 1st down and 2nd down, because you're going to always be faced with 3rd and long. You're just not going to get rich running against them. So you got to mix in those passes on earlier downs.
Ronnie Jenkins and Kenny Bynum back deep as Stover prepares to send it away. Ronnie Jenkins from his own 8. And Jenkins spinning, still running. Nicely done. A 25-yard return. He's stopped by Kim Herring. And with 3:25 to go here in the first, Ryan Leaf back in the saddle.
9. And by Selsun Blue Shampoo, to help keep your dandruff from sending the wrong signals.
3-0. The Ravens lead the Chargers. 3:25 to go here in the first quarter. Ryan Leaf and the Chargers, 1st down and 10 from the 33-yard line. Out of the I formation. Fletcher over the left side, breaks a tackle in the backfield and gets close to the 35. Now Monday on CBS, it's the Holiday Classic you grew up with. Don't miss the CBS Classic, A Charlie Brown Christmas, followed by an all-new King of Queens with special guest star Lou Ferrigno. Then it's Monday's #1 comedy, Everybody Loves Raymond, followed by Becker, and Monday's #1 drama, Family Law. It's all here Monday on CBS. Gain of 2, 2nd down and 8. Here comes the blitz. And this is Fletcher. Fletcher picks up the 1st down and gets to the 46-yard line, making the 47. A gain of 13.
And that was an obvious passing situation. The Chargers haven't thrown the ball yet. Watch Kim Herring getting up there, and they're going to run the draw. He's going to go right past it, right past Terrell Fletcher. Boom, actually gets smacked by Fred McCrary. And the hole is open, and this Charger team still has yet to throw the ball, Gus, and the Ravens thought for sure they were going to throw on that 2nd and long.
First down and 10 from the 48-yard line, a fumble. Loose ball. Let's see. I believe the Ravens have it. Ryan Lee fumbling the snap.
And it went through a couple Charger hands down there. I think Rob Burnett ended up landing on it.
Rod Woodson, I believe, picked it up.
Actually, I think it ends up being Jamie Sharper. Ryan Leaf not getting the ball up right at the snap. You see there the bunch of bodies in there. The ball's getting kicked around. There it is. Looks like Saragusa has it for a second. He couldn't hang on to it. Come on, Goose. Jamie Sharper ended up picking up the ball.
And the Ravens defense has forced a turnover in every game this year. They forced 34, 1st and 10 from the 49. Lewis over the right side, still running. And he gets to the 45-yard line. Ryan Leaf disappointed on the sideline. They had great field position, close to midfield, and he fumbles the snap.
And that's one thing this Charger team, and Mike Riley told us yesterday, we just can't afford to go on the road here in Baltimore and have turnovers. We will not be able to win the game and withstand this Ravens defense. And there you have one right here already in the 1st quarter.
2nd down and 6 from the 45-yard line for Dilfer and the Ravens. Here's Trent. Dances out of the pocket. Decides to run and dives forward. And he goes out of bounds at the 43. Chased out of bounds by Williams and Perella.
And Gus, they just replaced this turf only a week or so ago. And with the rain and the sod not able to go ahead and get its roots sunk in, you're going to start seeing some big chunks of turf come up here pretty soon. And the footing's going to be a factor here, I'm sure, the rest of this game if it keeps raining.
Ravens had last week off, and Brian Billick gave his squad 5 days of rest, 5 days off. Prior to that, they really walloped the Cleveland Browns 44-7. 3rd down and 2 from the 41. They need to go to the 39 for a 1st down. Priest Holmes, the tailback. Brandon Stokely in motion. Dilfer at the line of scrimmage, tip, and Rodney Harrison picks it off. Rodney Harrison at the right place at the right time, and that ball deflected, and the Chargers catch a break.
And that's the 2nd tip we've had here in the 1st quarter. I think it might have been Jamal Williams, 76. Let's see where it comes up. Right there. You saw it right there. He just got his hand up at the last second. Let's watch right here. Bang. There it is. Ball's up in the air. Rodney Harrison saw it. Made that basketball move and came down with the ball.
Chargers defense getting a nice push. 1st and 10 from the 36. Freddie Jones, the motion man. And they hand it off to Fazan, and Fazan gets to the 39-yard line.
And you think this San Diego team is afraid of this Ravens blitz? They have not thrown the ball, and the 1st quarter is almost over.
Ray Lewis in on the play with the tackle. Trent Dilfer pacing on the sideline. Makes it 2nd and 7 for the Chargers offense at their own 39-yard line. Empty backfield.
This could be a pass, Gus.
I think so.
Finally.
Leaf underneath, caught. Steve Hyden, the tight end, the backup tight end, with a gain of 6. And that will take us to the end of the 1st quarter with the score: Baltimore 3, San Diego nothing. We'll return to Baltimore right after this message. brave Ravens fans in this weather, rainy and cold. And it's 3rd down and 1 for the Chargers. Old-time atmosphere here at PSI Net Stadium. Makes you feel that Johnny U is getting ready to run through the tunnel or run out of the tunnel. And the Chargers have converted only 6 of their last 34 third down conversions over the last 3 games. They need a yard. Fletcher, flag on the play. And Fletcher tackled in the backfield. Washington in on the play along with Sam Adams. Could be offside, though, against the Ravens.
And I think it was, and it was a great job by the San Diego offensive line holding their water, not jumping on that hard count by Ryan Leaf. And that's going to be a 1st down for the San Diego Charger team. That's one way to convert on 3rd downs, get the other team to jump offside. And we have 3 or 4 or 5 of the Ravens jumping. Saragusa, outside McCrary, Burnett, they're all coming.
So the Chargers pick up a 1st down. Tony Saragusa has another new restaurant called Tiffany's. It's a rib joint in Jersey.
There's a shocker. Saragusa with a rib joint.
1st down and 10 from midfield for the Chargers. Leaf to throw! And he's sacked. Ryan Leaf goes down. McCrary with the sack. And that will be his 6th sack of the year. Make it 6.5.
Boy, and I think McCrary, Sharper, a couple other guys were back there, and Ryan Leaf took a shot. And it's going to feel terrible. Mike McCrary coming inside move right here. Dead on shot, helmet right into the left shoulder of the quarterback, Ryan Leaf. And that doesn't feel good anytime, but especially when it's cold and rainy.
A loss of 6, 2nd and 16 from the 44. Draw play, Fletcher looking for room, gets back to midfield, and the original line of scrimmage as he gains 6. And Leaf, 1 pass attempt, 1 fumble, 1 sack.
And you know what? It's easy to point to the quarterback, Gus. This San Diego offensive line is in trouble, and they know it. We've seen 3 draws already. We're going to see a lot more before this day is over. A lot of screen passes. You'll see screen passes to the tight end, to Terrell Fletcher, maybe to Fred McCrary, the fullback, because they just can't compete with this Ravens defense.
3rd and 10 from the 50. Leaf down the field, and it is incomplete. And Leaf has to get up off the ground. Closest man to the football, Trevor Gaylor.
It takes another brutal shot from Rob Burnett, the sack leader of this Ravens defense. Watch this shot, bang, another helmet right in the sternum. That's got to feel good.
Mike McCrary on the sideline, coming off the sack, and the Chargers send it away. Bennett standing at the 35. Jermaine Lewis back deep at the 10. Bennett, high wobbly kick, goes into the end zone for a touchback. A 50-yard punt, a 30-yard net.
Okay, sir, you're all set. We got you signed up with all your movie channels.
Right.
You got 4 Stars, 7 HBOs, 5 Showtimes. Okay. We also got you signed up for your local channels. Beautiful. No charge.
They'd have that advantage if they tie this year.
Johnny Unitas finished his career with the Chargers back in 1973. Was 1-3 as a starter. Here's Dilfer underneath, and it's caught at the 26-yard line, and that is Shannon Sharp. And what's your old buddy have to say to you when you talk to him yesterday?
Oh, he loves talking tight end stuff. I love that. It gets so fired up. He was all excited, getting this team ready for the Festivus or playoffs.
Festivus.
That's exactly right. You know, they can't say that, but this guy has really been a leader. He's been there. He's won a couple Super Bowls. He knows what it's like. He's really kept the young players on this team focused.
58th catch of the year, 2nd and 3. Here comes a blitz. Handoff, Lewis running over people to the 30. Wow. A 4-yard gain, but a very impressive 4-yard gain And a first down.
And that's what Jamal Lewis brings. Power and speed.
And what did Sharp learn from his coaches?
Well, it's funny, he's had a few of the great ones, and he said he's taken something from each and every one. He really said he learned about discipline and work ethic from Dan Reeves. Said Wade Phillips taught him leadership. But I think the most important, Mike Shanahan, the attention to detail, that really molded Shannon Sharp. And he says Brian Billick is the best coach he's played for because he says, just go do your job.
And this is Lewis over the left side, and he is tackled for a loss. John Perella with the stop. 12 minutes ago in the second quarter of play, and let's make our first visit to Jim Nantz.
Well, Gus, they're just starting the second quarter at Tennessee, and it's 14-0 Titans. A long touchdown pass to Thigpen and Eddie George from 5 yards out. 14-0 Titans. Let's go back to Gus and Brent.
These Ravens chasing the Titans in the Central Division.
Sounds like the Bengals have their gear packed up for the offseason
They're ready to hit the links. 2nd and 10 from the 31. Dilfer out of the backfield to Lewis. Nice grab. And Lewis gets up to the 43.5. Fakir Brown there to knock him out of bounds, but it's a gain of 13 yards. And what do you like about this young man?
Well, I like so much his speed, his power, strength. But let's work on his catching ability right here out in the flat, turning his hips around. You see that hip move? That's a veteran move. Rookies aren't supposed to get that hip over because if he doesn't, the ball's behind him and he wouldn't make it.
First down and 10 from the 44. Play action. Dilfer down the field. It is incomplete. Intended for Patrick Johnson, but he skipped it to him. Once again, let's go to New York and check in with Jim Nantz. Giants and Pittsburgh.
All right, we had a spectacular goal line stand a moment ago by the Pittsburgh Steelers. 4th and goal for the Giants. And Ron Dane is brought to a halt at the 1. 3-0 Giants, second quarter. Let's go back to Gus and Brett.
Wow, I wonder if Mike Ditka's going to go back to his old soft stance on that New York Giants
No,
team.
I think Coach Ditka and Coach Fassel ironed everything out on the NFL today. Coach Ditka, very complimentary.
That was very nice that they made up.
Meanwhile, the Ravens call a timeout. 10:57 to go in the second. 3-0 Baltimore.
Some players heard it's going to be tough for any of those other teams to get in.
Dilfer, all kinds of time to throw. Avoids the rush and dumps it. Good play by Trent Dilfer. He had all kinds of pressure on him at the end of the play. Darren Mickle giving chase.
And you can throw the ball away if you're out of the pocket. You can see Trent Dilfer, he knows where he is on the field, a lot of time. Now he's got to get outside that tight end box, which is the pocket. There he goes. Now he knows, throw it away. He's got to get past the line of scrimmage. It's not intentional grounding. Good heads-up play by Trent Dilfer.
Dilfer 7 of 12, 70 yards. He's hit 4 different receivers. Brings up 3rd and 10 from the 44. Dilfer steps up underneath. Stokely with the catch at the 35-yard line. Brandon Stokely, a gain of 20 yards. And against Cleveland, he had a sensational game. 4 catches, 68 yards.
And Brandon Stokely getting back into the mix, catching a few balls, especially on 3rd down, coming over the middle, finding the spot in the zone, sitting down. You see him stop, square up to the quarterback. That's a great job. Let Trent Dilfer know where you are. And let's see Junior Seau getting blocked up right there by Spencer Falau on the blitz stunt coming outside. And there's that big hole over the middle.
1st and 10 from the 36. Dilfer again on the pump fake. And it's a fumble picked up by the Chargers. And this time Mickle got to him and stripped the football.
And Darren Mickle does a great job coming from that backside, Gus. He's going to come from Trent Dilfer's blind side all the way around the top. When Dilfer starts moving out of the pocket, watch Darren Mickle. He realizes he's carrying that ball like a loaf of bread. Smack it out of there.
So the Chargers force the turnover. Antoine Simpson with the fumble recovery.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Castaway. Directed by Robert Zemeckis, starring Tom Hanks. This Christmas only in theaters. K Jewelers. This holiday season, shop K Jewelers. Every kiss begins with K. And by Sprint PCS, the clear alternative to cellular.
Nice shot of the inner harbor here in Baltimore. Chargers take over at their own 44-yard line. This complete. Curtis Conway snakes down, and Conway gains about 8 yards on the play. First man to him, Rod Woodson. Jeff Graham not in the lineup today for the Chargers. He got hit in the mouth, lost a couple of teeth last week against San Francisco. So Conway is in the starting lineup along with Trevor Gaylor.
And Gus, let's go back to the turnover. Watch Mickle come outside. Jonathan Ogden blocks him by. Now usually the quarterback would step up. There's nowhere to step up. That's not Ogden's fault. They got to stop that penetration inside.
Ravens have turned it over twice already. San Diego inside Baltimore territory, and Fletcher over the left side looking for the first down. Terrell Fletcher, scat back, usually a third down back. As you take a look at Mickle. Mickle, nice
pressure coming out the end. That just goes to show you, even if you get pushed by the quarterback, never give up.
So the Chargers close to the first down. And they're bringing the chains out.
And that ought to be about a foot short, Gus, I think.
Mike Riley, his future uncertain. The Chargers are a little short. For a complete breakdown of all playoff scenarios, including updates at the conclusion of each game, click on NFL at cbs.sportsline.com. So Mike Riley's team faced with a 3rd and 1 from the 47.
And Gus, he told us that one of the keys for this game was going to be to shorten the game. Play strong defense, run the ball. He's done that. They're only 3 points down. We're in the middle of the second quarter on the road. Right now, that's advantage San Diego.
Fletcher and McCrary in the backfield. Now an empty set. Watch the sneak right here. And there you go. Leap straight ahead. Rob Burnett tackles Ryan Leaf.
And I think Ryan Leaf got some good push over that right guard. Lowering his shoulder and just getting it in there. That was a nice call, Gus. Got the quarterback sneak out of the spread formation.
Now, what do they tell a quarterback to do when he's sneaking it? It looks like an easy play, is it?
No, you take shots, you get abused, and it's tough to get your momentum. You take the snap, and you got to drop your back foot and push off and get forward.
Ryan Leaf leans forward, and he gets the first down by the nose of the football.
And that was all Riley Roundtree, the right guard, 74. Just getting off the ball, knowing the quarterback's coming right over your backside.
Third first down of the game for the Chargers. 1st and 10 from the 46. Here's Lee, pump fake, and it's incomplete. Intended for Trevor Gaylor. Tuesday on CBS, imagine your only brother is missing in action at the Baltimore 46. Kazan now, the deep back. Here's Leaf to throw. Leaf drops the ball, and the Ravens have it. Stripped away by Cornell Brown. So the Ravens have it once again, leading it 3-0.
They mastered the biology of the immune system and pioneered a revolutionary way to treat disease. By modulating the body's processes, Immunex is
Run the football, play sound offense. The unknown guys now are stepping it up.
The NFL Today, Sunday on CBS.
Tough start for Ryan Leaf. 2 completions, 4 attempts. He's fumbled twice. Ravens with the first down and 10 at the San Diego 46. Lewis on the pitch. Gets his shoulders squared and inside the 40-yard line.
And let's take another look at that fumble. Watch outside Cornell Brown, 51, blocked by Fred McCrary. He comes up and hops and sets his feet. All of a sudden, you see his cleat stick in the ground for just a second. Cornell Brown goes right around him. You can't hop. You got to come up, take the guy straight on. All of a sudden, you lose your leverage. You see Fred McCrary trying to push him by at the last second. But Brown does a nice job of swatting at Ryan Leaf's arm and getting the ball on the ground.
Second down. They need one. Make it 2. Some movement. Hard count by Trent Dilfer.
Both teams with some success on the hard counts today. Very aggressive blitzing defenses. You get a lot of blitzes. You go on 2 and 3, and you get guys that are trying to time that blitz off sides.
Brian Billick on the sideline.
False start. Number 31, offense, moving prior to the snap. It's a 5-yard penalty. Remains second down.
So it's on Jamal Lewis, the rookie.
Caught him flinching.
They'll back him up 5 yards. And it will bring up second down and 7 from the 43. 2 penalties against the Ravens for 10 yards. Gash and Lewis in the backfield. Dilfer dumps it off to Lewis. And he cuts it inside and picks up the first down at the 36. Williams with the tackle, but it's a gain of 7.
And watch how Jamal Lewis comes out of the backfield, catches the ball, and makes the move right after he catches it. He catches it and makes that move, gets right by Rodney Harrison. That is tough to do, because usually if you're thinking about your move, you forget to catch the ball.
So Lewis now with 2 catches, 20 yards. And instead of a first down, they make it third down and short. They need about 6 inches. Lewis running, hops forward. Dangerous play. Gets the first down. Wow. Climbing over the pile. Or hurdling the pile, better yet. He used to run track in high school.
Thinking he's running the hurdles. Watch him up inside. He's going to jump right on somebody's legs, shoulders, backs, and jumps right over Junior Seau. Get a little springboard action. You see Junior, the intensity in those eyes, getting inside, cutting through the blockers, and ended up making the tackle.
First and 10 from the 35. This time it's Priest Holmes jitterbugging and gets inside the 35 before being knocked backwards by John Parella. Tonight on 60 Minutes, why are .com companies that people counted on to make them rich suddenly going broke? Let 60 Minutes tell you why tonight. Brent, why is that happening? I know you're a big internet guy and technology guy.
Bottom line, the Big E, earnings.
Earnings.
They have none. But I'm going to watch 60 Minutes because I want to know what else.
Gain of 1, second down and 9. The SI.net Stadium, Baltimore. The Ravens need a win to clinch a playoff spot. On top 3-0. Draw play, Priest Holmes. And Holmes inside the 30. Fontenot with the tackle, but it's a gain of 7. Priest Holmes.
And we talked about the pride this Charger defense has. And we've seen Priest Holmes a couple times. Jamal Lewis get some chunks here and there, trying to wear him down. And when you have a big back with speed, eventually that happens. And Junior Seau, that cuts right to his heart more than anything. He does not want anybody to run the ball on his defense.
Third down and 2 from the 28. Dilfer pumps down the field for Ismail. Incomplete. He was out of bounds. Fakir Brown covering.
And Qadri Ismail thought he had it, but he actually got away with one. He had a nice push-off, you see right here, before stepping out. Wow, we might have to come back and replay that. Did he have that possession when he had that first foot down?
Got the right foot
There's
down.
the right,
there.
he got both. Nice drag by Kadri.
Wow.
I think they're going to come back and look at that. And here's a great look at it. He's got the right foot there, drags the left. But did his knee hit out of bounds before he dragged that foot? And there's way up high. That's the shot we're looking at. And it's tough to tell from that angle.
Fans looking at the Jumbotron here in the stadium, or rather Smart Vision here in the stadium. Ismail feels that he got in.
Now watch the right knee, Gus. He gets his right foot down. Watch his right knee. Does his right knee hit out of bounds before his left foot gets down? Boy, it's almost simultaneous. You see his right knee hit out of bounds, his left foot's dragging. That's going to be a tough call. Let's see if we can see it better from this shot. There's the right. He got it right there, even before. That's the drag. He's not even placing his foot down. There's the drag. That's it. Touchdown, Ravens.
And this play is being reviewed. Kadri Ismail.
And he was pretty confident right away.
Ismail, 3 receiving touchdowns on the season. Tom White, the referee, will make the decision. Let's take another look.
You've got to have possession 2 feet, Gus, inbounds. There's the catch, there's the right foot, there's the left foot before the knee hits out of bounds. What they're going to look at is, it's tough, and we've had this one a couple times this year. It's tough for the referees. They can see that. It's tough for them to see the drag sometimes. And you saw him drag it. Or there's the ankle right there, even before the knee hits, if he didn't drag that toe. But it looked like he dragged. Being a receiver, Gus, I can just feel when that thing's dragging. You know, you've been it, you've seen it.
Brian Billick is agreeing with you.
Is this place going to go crazy when they call it a touchdown?
I have a feeling. And the fans sense it.
After reviewing the play, this is a completed pass. Both feet are down. It's a touchdown.
Kadri Ismail, 28-yard touchdown. And the Ravens take a 9-0 lead. Explain it again for us, Brent.
Well, Kadri knew it all along. You got to have possession 2 feet. Here's what they're looking at. There's 1 foot. Let's see. Let's draw it again. There's the drag right there. You can see the toe hit and bounce just a little bit. It's tough for the referees to see. Nice job. That's why we have replay, Gus. That's exactly what the rule is designed for. That's why the system is in place.
And the extra point is up and good. So Kadri Ismail, 5 catches, 76 yards, and his first touchdown of the day.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by FedEx, the official worldwide delivery service of the NFL, and by Philips, technology that's making life a little better all the time.
Let's take one more look at the touchdown. Kadri Ismail, watch him push off here. Fakir Brown right here. Little push off, gaining an advantage, got away with one. Still, great job keeping his feet in. But they could have easily called offensive interference on that one, Gus.
Ravens send it away. Jenkins from the 10. Ronnie Jenkins spinning, and and gets to the 32-yard line, a 22-yard return. Billy Davis with the tackle on special teams. Next Sunday, the NFL on CBS stays in the playoff hunt with the doubleheader action for you. Eddie George and the Titans take on the Browns while the Chargers visit the Panthers. Then Peyton Manning and the Colts try to put a dent in the Miami Dolphins while the Ravens visit the Arizona Cardinals. Check local listings beginning with Jim Nantz and the NFL Today. 1st and 10 from the 32. And Ben Coleman jumping offside.
Looked like a run play. He was ready to go block linebacker.
False start. Number 62, offense. The 5-yard penalty.
First penalty of the game for the Chargers.
You see Fred McCrary going up and letting Ryan Leaf know something. Throws Ben Coleman off.
Fletcher. Terrell Fletcher, a tough little guy. Tackled by Jamie Sharper. Picks up 5 yards the hard way. And that'll bring up 2nd down and 10.
And Fletcher more of a scat back, but like you said, very tough. Nice job running up inside. Does a great job making people miss. Catching the ball outside, probably their best receiver coming out of the backfield.
5'8", 196 pounds.
You need to see Fletcher on a screen.
Leaf gets rid of it, incomplete. Freddie Jones is running across the middle and the ball underthrown. And the passing yards today for the Chargers, a goose egg.
Wow.
Very interesting.
That is not pretty.
You have to credit Marvin Lewis, the defensive coordinator.
And we've got a lot to say about Marvin Lewis. You can't talk enough about him and what a great job he's done here in Baltimore. And he will be a head coach very soon.
3rd and 10 from the 32. Leaf under pressure, down the field, picked off McAllister with the interception. McAllister at midfield, bounces it outside and out of bounds. And Ryan Leaf threw that one up for grabs. And Chris McAllister says, thank you very much.
And that was way overthrown. And Ryan Leaf was talking about Chris McAllister when he was at Arizona, picking him off at Washington State several years ago. And you're going to see Leaf come back, couple guys in the zone, and he maybe the ball slips out, but he steps up to throw it, runs into one of his linemen, and it's 8 or 9 yards over the head of Curtis Conway. And McAllister doing his best punt return imitation right there off an interception, making some big yards, going across the field. Little high step.
3rd interception of the season.
Continuing action fouls. Unnecessary roughness, number 45 on Baltimore. Unnecessary roughness, number 44 on San Diego. Those penalties will offset. It'll be Baltimore's ball, 1st down.
Fred McCrary and Corey Harris. So offsetting penalties, and the Ravens have the ball inside San Diego territory. 1st down and 10 from the 46-yard line. And this is the 3rd time they've started in San Diego territory. Draw play to Lewis. Jamal stood up at the 45. Junior Seau plugging the hole. Now Rodney Harrison getting into it with Patrick Johnson.
Rodney Harrison and Junior Seau are the 2 guys, and there's more than just 2, but they're the 2 leaders of this defense, and they just refuse to die. 1-12, a disappointing season, but those guys will play to the final gun. They play for pride, they play for love of the game, they play hard all the time, which unfortunately not everybody does.
Play fake, Dilfer. Intercepted Harrison! Down the sideline! Cuts it across the field! Harrison! And he stopped at the 43.
And there he is, and you get him fired up. And you don't want him any more fired up than he already is. and you saw him stop at the end of the play and almost lateral to Rogers Beckett. He should have done it. There was nobody outside on the right-hand side of the field. Trent Dilfer, watch him avoid the rush. He feels the pressure, feels like there's pressure, got to get rid of the ball. Harrison just steps in front of Shannon Sharp, and he's off. Now watch him come back. He's going to look to lateral right here. Rogers Beckett, hey, I'm open. There was nobody out there. Man.
Second interception of the day for the Chargers. Fletcher on the handoff, and Fletcher loses a yard. And that should take us to the 2-minute warning. Ray Lewis. So 2 minutes to go here in the first half of play. Ravens up 10-0. Chris Winkie. So Marvin Lewis, the architect of this defense, has really kept the Ravens in a number of games this year. They went 0 for October, did not score a touchdown in October, but won 2 games in the process.
Yeah, and that was his coach his freshman year in college, Joe Pascal, the great defensive mind for the San Diego Chargers. And you talk about a couple of heavyweights slugging it out. Their defense is on the field.
Second down and 11 from the 44. Leaf underneath, it is incomplete. Curtis Conway, the intended receiver. And the quarterback comparison. Ryan Leaf, 3 fumbles, 2 sacks, and a pick. Dilfer, 2 fumbles, 2 sacks, and 2 picks.
Well, these are 2 of the best defenses, and I know San Diego's pass defense hasn't been great, but they're playing much better today, doing a great job covering these Ravens receivers.
Third down and 11 from the 44. They're 1 of 4 on third down conversion. Here's Lee. Pumps it, drops it off. Jones with a nice catch. Freddie Jones picks up the first down. Freddie Jones on the screen. And he picks up 12 yards, needed 11.
And watch this one-handed catch, the tight end screen. This was all Freddie Jones. One hand, snatch that thing out of the air, get upfield, get vertical, run over people, run over Kim Herring. What a play by the big tight end from the Chargers.
First down from the Ravens' 33-yard line. Fletcher following it blocked with a crease. Out of bounds at the 25. Dwayne Starks pushing him out of bounds. So San Diego with all 3 timeouts remaining, and the Ravens only 1.
And that's the first screen that we've seen from the Chargers today. Going to the tight end, look for Terrell Fletcher. Maybe not right now, but in the second half, they've got to get him some more balls on the screen pass. Take some of that pass rush this Baltimore defense is providing in Ryan Leaf's face. Take it away.
Second and 3 from the 26. Split backfield. Draw play. Fletcher. And he is clobbered at the 25-yard line. 1:09 to go. Second quarter of play. Chargers call a timeout. For the Chargers from the Ravens' 25-yard line. 1:09 to go here in the first half of play. Baltimore with a 10-0 lead.
And guys, I'd go Curtis Conway on Dwayne Starks at the top of the screen. Take that. That's your best matchup right now.
Play action. Leaf sets up the screen, and it explodes right in his face. Fletcher, the intended receiver. An incomplete pass, and this defense is just so violent, so hungry.
And they were going to that screen. It didn't set up very nice. The linemen were all over the place. Wasn't a big penetration there from the Baltimore defensive line. They were sitting there more toward the line of scrimmage looking for screen or draw. Just broke down right now.
Ryan Leaf, 3 of 9, 25 yards, timeout on the field, called by the Chargers. And this defense, man, are they fun to watch. And as you mentioned to me, Brent, when you have a defense like this and a running game like the Ravens have, you can go far in the playoffs.
You can, and I think teams around the league are afraid to play this team. And look at this defense, Gus. They could be one of the best of all time. And Brian Billick and several of the defensive players told us, Marvin Lewis as well, if you're going to be remembered as one of the best defenses of all time, you've got to go to the Super Bowl. Look at Chicago, Super Bowl winner, Pittsburgh right there. Some tough teams. In fact, in the NFL today, they had the Chicago Bears defense going against Craig James, just getting whipsawed. I think he had 5 carries for 1 yard and a fumble, Craig James.
I see, so
Glad he's doing better on the NFL today.
John Carney in to attempt a 47-yard field goal. Darren Bennett is the holder.
Watch his footing, Gus. This turf is coming up in chunks.
Right on the hash mark. He's hit 5 in a row. Nice hold, gets it away. And good! Nice job by Darren Bennett to scoop that ball up and place it down. A 47-yard field goal by John Carney. Very nicely done. Look at Bennett.
Nice pressure hold by the punter, scooping it right off that ground.
So the Ravens will not get a shutout. They've pitched 4 shutouts this year. Mike Riley will take it. 10-3, Baltimore. And John Carney will kick it away after the 47-yard field goal. Corey Harris back deep. This will be Harris from the 12. Corey Harris up to the 37-yard line with 42 seconds to go. Thursday on CBS, join Tiger Woods, Shaquille O'Neal, Venus Williams, and more, and find out who will be named the Sports Illustrated Sportsman of the Year. It's a special all-star celebration Thursday on CBS. Player down on the field. It's a Charger. Special teams. Some wicked hits out there today.
And the San Diego team's been playing tough all year, competitive in almost every game. Ravens haven't been able to shake them thus far.
But if you think about some of the losses this San Diego team has suffered this year, they lost 9-6 the first game of the year to Oakland, 28-27 to New Orleans this season at home. Lost to Denver 21-7, to Oakland 15-13 in their second meeting. So they have been close in a number of games. And Deion Humphrey, the injured player.
53 right on the right there, gets sideswiped after he was reaching in for a tackle. The Chargers had 4 losses by 2 points or less. And that matches the 84 Kansas City Chiefs for the most ever in a season.
So that tells you they're not far away. And Humphrey still being tended to. And Mike Riley spoke with the University of Southern California this week about their opening, but wants to remain here in San Diego.
And he talked about talking with Dean Spanos, and he said that they're going to just evaluate the situation at the end of the year. And so he's just moving forward, focused on this game and the last few games of the season.
So what do you think? Do you think he stays, or do you think he leaves?
Well, I think that because of the bad drafts over the years, Bobby Beathard, the way that this team has traded away their draft choices and picked up guys that aren't really worthy to be defensive and offensive players, productive players, I think you got to give Mike Riley another chance. The players like him. I think you got to let him stay in, let his system work itself out, go out, be aggressive. They're going to finally have a first-round draft choice, believe it or not, this year. A high one. What they've got to do, trade that thing down. There isn't anybody that's going to be that much of a lock at that high of a position. Trade it down, get 2 or 3 solid core players going forward. Keep Mike Riley around. He's got a great attitude. He's got a great system. He's just got to get some great players. He's got a couple, I know, on that defensive side of the ball.
So Deion Humphrey coming off the field. So the Ravens have it 1st and 10 at their own 37-yard line. 42 seconds to go in the first half of play. Lewis over the left side, and he is taken down at the 37. Tackle on the play by Deron Jenkins, the right corner. And when Deion Humphrey went down, San Diego was charged with a timeout. They are out of timeouts. 22 seconds to go, and the Ravens are going to allow the clock to run out. And that will take us to the end of the first half. Trent Dilfer, turbulent first half for him. He threw a couple of interceptions, fumbled it as well. And that's the end of the first half with the score. The Ravens 10, the Chargers 3. Coming up, the NASDAQ halftime report with Jim Nance after this message and a word from your local station. Good. In Baltimore, a sloppy first half, but the Ravens lead it 10-3. And welcome back, everybody. I'm Gus Johnson along with my partner Brent Jones. Everybody talks about the Ravens defense, the best in the league, but the San Diego defense did a really good job in that first half.
Well, they were really challenged, and you expect them to go ahead and stop the run, but really the key's been their secondary, being able to stay with the Ravens receivers. The Ravens haven't taken advantage of that, and it's funny because every other team in the league has taken advantage of the San Diego defensive secondary this year. Ravens haven't put it together yet today.
All right, let's take a look at the statistics from the first half of play, and Brent, take us through them.
Well, I think the thing that really stands out, look at those passing yards, 110-7. San Diego virtually has no passing game, but the turnover situation, Mike Riley told us we can't turn the ball over and stay in the game. They've turned it over 3 times, yet the Ravens have turned it over 3 times, and it's kept them in the game. Time of possession, Baltimore dominating, getting some yards, not getting a whole lot of points other than the big Ismail touchdown.
And let's take a look at the two quarterbacks and tough days, a tough day rather for both guys. 3 fumbles by Ryan Leaf, 2 for Dilfer. Dilfer has thrown 2 interceptions, and Leaf 1.
And both of these guys are having trouble getting the ball outside a little bit. There's some pressure inside. I think they both have to rely on their tight ends. Both tight ends gunning for the Pro Bowl. 2 outstanding players. That's their best chances for mismatches. Tight ends versus linebackers and safeties. Take a shot at Freddie Jones. Get more Shannon Sharp involved in this thing. Get some confidence and get some yards moving the ball.
Shannon Sharp with only 1 catch as you take a look at some of the individual leaders. And Brent, who are your MVPs?
Well, we've talked about this before, and I think it's very obvious the guys that have made an impact this year around the league. And there's not just one necessarily standout guy. I love what Dante Culpepper's done in Minnesota. And a second-year quarterback, outstanding. Mike Anderson, where would the Broncos be without Mike Anderson? They wouldn't be anywhere. He's had a phenomenal season. But my MVP for the first time ever, picking a defensive player right here, Ray Lewis. He is the leader of this defense. He's the best tackler in the league. He scares teams. He's all over the field. This is the year, Gus, where no quarterback or receiver has just lit it on fire, and so it's time to stand up and be a man and pick a defensive player as your MVP. And I never thought I'd say it, but there's my guy.
Also, Rich Gannon should be considered with the Oakland Raiders. The Ravens will have it to start the second half of play. Corey Harris from his own 5. And Harris gets to the 29-yard line. A return of 25 yards. Fred McCrary with the special teams tackle. So Trent Dilfer comes back onto the field. Struggled mightily in that first half of play. Fumbling it twice, throwing 2 interceptions. He was also sacked twice. But one thing you like about Trent, he's a resilient guy, and when he makes a mistake, he told you, Brent, that the key for him is to go out and make up for it instead of dwelling on it.
Well, he's got a different mentality, and we'll talk about this as the second half goes along.
First down from the 31-yard line. Here's Lewis over the left side, breaks it. Lewis still running, and taken down at the 47.
And watch the leg strength and watch the lead block. Sam Gass, we haven't talked enough about him. 32 getting in, making a block on the backside there. Here comes Jamal Lewis. Ball almost stripped. Keep those legs running. Keep going forward. Lean forward. Keep those legs pounding. speed, power. And I think, Gus, this year, going back and looking at the draft, I think that's the best pick of the draft. That's the most productive pick. And the Ravens are known for making big-time picks in the first round.
Lewis, again, you got to credit the front office here in Baltimore. Ozzie Newsome, the legendary tight end who runs everything here in Baltimore, with some great selections. Look at the last 5 picks. You should call this Ozzie's Pearls or something like that.
And you can't forget Phil Savage, the direct college director of scouting. Those guys have come together, and these are all starters, all impact players, all guys making a difference. And if you compare that to some other teams around the league, especially look at San Diego Chargers, they traded away a lot of their first-round picks. They don't have anybody. And so what a huge difference that front office has made.
Lewis over the left side and is taken down inside Chargers territory. Orlando Rupp, the middle linebacker, closing down on the rookie.
And you were talking about Trent Dilfer's attitude, and he told us yesterday, when he was in Tampa Bay, he kept hearing all the time, just don't lose the game. Just don't lose the game. He said, I eventually became that quarterback. I was so afraid to lose the game. I wasn't aggressive. I wasn't making throws I should make. He said the greatest thing about Brian Billick, he's got confidence in him. He said, Billick says to him, you got to go out and make some big plays. Make big plays. Big difference.
3rd down and 6. They need a big play here. Dilfer on the drop, in trouble, and he's sacked. Al Fontenot with the sack, 3rd of the day for the Chargers, and the Ravens will have to punt it away.
And Al Fontenot's been getting some pressure here from the left side. Spencer Falau filling in for Harry Swain today. Backpedaling, not engaging enough, and here comes Al Fontenot right around the corner.
Joe Pascal, a veteran of 33 years of coaching in his 4th season in San Diego. What a terrific coach he is. Keeping his guys motivated. They send it away. Nate Jacquet at the 3. And Jacquet breaks the tackle. Number 50, Brad Jackson for the Ravens, had him but couldn't hold on. A 53-yard punt and a 10-yard return. They get up to the 13. Fletcher, Sam Adams, the former Seahawk, with the play. Log on to NFL.com and find out who's in, who's out, and who's on the bubble for the playoffs. It's all at NFL.com. No gain on the play. Brings up 2nd and 10 from the 13. They need to go to the 23 for a first down. And Ryan Leaf is going to have to make some passes for the Chargers to win this game. Here's Fletcher trying to get outside. Fumbles, loose, picked up, and out of bounds. Rob Burnett picking up the ball. Kim Herring with the hit. And talking about laying some wood. What a hit by Herring.
Boy, and we felt it up here, and they're right now, they're trying to figure out whether Rob Burnett kept his feet in bounds. There's a shot right on the helmet, right down to the arms. Watch him keep his feet in right here. Pick up that ball, stay in. Nice job, nice balance, Rob Burnett. Watch his feet. There's 1, there's 2. Keep him in. Drags that back foot. Look at that receiver move. And it's so tough. When linemen see that ball, Gus, near the end zone, they think, I'm going to pick it up and score. Great patience by Rob Burnett to realize we've got to at least recover the ball.
4th turnover of the game for the Chargers. Lewis leans forward. And they call him down at the 1.
Boy, and you know, they called him down at the 1, Gus, but from up here, I thought he stretched and got that ball across the plane. And we're a lot further away than the officials. Let's see. He's going down. See if he reaches that ball across before his knee hits. Still up, still up. Hasn't hit. He slipped. You know what? His knee never hit. He slipped. I don't think his knee came out, Gus, and hit. I think that's a touchdown. You see him grab his knee, still hadn't hit right there. I was up in the air.
Second and goal, Lewis again. It's done. It's a touchdown. This kid's like a basketball player. The great elevation. And the Ravens take a 16-3 lead. What an athlete.
And what a vertical. And I think that's Jamal Lewis saying it was in the first time, but this one, there's going to be no doubt about just springing right up off the ground, leaning that ball.
Almost like a finger roll or something at the basket.
And pulls it back. Give me a little something and pull it back. Wow. I've never seen that move down the goal line before.
Extra point up and good. Lewis with the touchdown, 5th rushing touchdown of the year.
Watch how much height he gets over everybody else and the extension.
Lewis on the dive.
Best Buy. Buy online, return to store. BestBuy.com. Now, wasn't that easy? And by De Beers, the world's diamond expert since 1888.
17-3. Ravens lead the Chargers. Jenkins drops it, picks it up at the 4. And Jenkins looking for daylight and gets out of bounds at the 20-yard line. A 15-yard return. Jamal Lewis with the touchdown, and the Ravens extending their lead.
Kurt Warner has no room for wiggle. He's got to come out firing like an MVP.
The NFL Today, Sunday on CBS.
17-3 Ravens. Coming up next, superstar skiers. And we'll talk about that in a moment. Right now, 1st and 10 from the 20. And a flag on the play. Ravens are pointing towards the Chargers.
False start. The right tackle moving prior to the snap. It's a 5-yard penalty. Remains first down.
Now we can do our promo. Coming up next, superstar skiers, including Donna Weinbrecht and the Mayer brothers, join up with some of your favorite TV and entertainment stars at the Merrill Lynch Celebrity Ski Challenge. First down and 15 from the 15. Lee batted down at the line of scrimmage. And right now, the Ravens are smelling the playoffs.
They're giving the goose call, and that's Festivus to you, buddy.
It's not the playoffs. You didn't tell that story. What is Festivus?
Festivus is an old term from an old Seinfeld show, and Brian Billick said he banned the word playoff here several weeks ago, and he said, I don't want anyone talking about the playoffs, so they came up with the word Festivus instead of playoffs, and so that's what everyone's been saying. Can't say it till you make it.
Second down and 15. Lee batted down again. This time Sam Adams. And Ryan Leaf, right now, Brent, he doesn't look too confident in the pocket.
I don't know if anybody would be confident against this defense and his offensive line. There's a lot of pressure, and Sam Adams gets his arms up, and Ryan Leaf's throwing it right there. Gus, you hear about all these great players in the Ravens defense. You never hear as much about Sam Adams and Saragusa, the defensive tackles. They batten down the hatches right in the middle. Nobody's running on them. They are the anchors, and they make a lot of plays down there. Not as flashy as the other guys, but they're making some things happen.
Third and 15. They need to go to the 30. Leaf lets it fly down the field. Incomplete. Flag on the play. Intended for Curtis Conway. Dwayne Stark steps between. And let's see.
And I didn't see a whole lot of pushing or shoving going down the field. He threw the ball up early. Gus, I really don't know where the contact was going to be. I didn't see any.
Unless Conway may be pushed off. Or
I didn't see any of the last 10 or 15 yards. Yeah, no, I never see anything, Gus, on that play.
I mean, you didn't see anything.
I didn't. I don't.
Sometimes you do see things.
That's right.
And it's against the Chargers.
We're all confused, guys.
Unsportsmanlike conduct on the coaching in the white area on the sideline. The penalty is declined. They're going to take the result of the play. It's 4th down.
Gus?
Well, that's why we didn't see it.
You know why? Because I don't know if that's ever been called. The coach is up on the white, getting close to the field. And that's adding insult to injury. The Chargers are trying to make a play in this game. They threw the flag like it was during the middle of the play. The referee's got to be watching the play. Don't be worried about the coaches. And that's a little bit of a reach here at this point in the game.
Bennett, spiraling kick. Lewis at the 43 steps out of bounds. A 43-yard punt. What did Marv Levy say one time? Over a vicious something about an official?
Something's right.
Everything you need to feel at home on the web, all in one place.
And guys, let's go back to that penalty. Boris Sheik, the side judge right here down the field, is going to run into somebody on the Charger sideline. Gets tripped right here. Somebody stepping out to watch the play. He gets tripped, and you see him hop over there, almost go down. And they can't interfere with the officials down there on the sideline.
Here's Lewis. Boris Cheek is the field judge on the sideline there. And where do you have to be? There's Boris. He says, hey, man, you got to give me room to work.
Give me some room. He didn't even go down. He actually had some dexterity. Took the trip, stayed up, and threw the flag. And we were kind of on him about throwing the flag. But, you know, the referee's got to be in position to make the call. That's why they have those guys clear the sidelines.
So 2nd down and 7 from the 45-yard line. Lewis straight ahead, and he gets to the 48. .9:22 to go, 3rd quarter of play, and the game summary. Turnovers and points off turnovers, very important. 14 Ravens points off turnovers. And look at the turnovers. 4 San Diego turnovers, 3 Baltimore turnovers, and 4 the Ravens.
Yeah, when you turn the ball 4 times over on the road, you're usually in a lot of trouble. There's not a whole lot of games that you can win. The Chargers are lucky that the score is only 17-3.
Stokely in motion, lines up in the backfield. Dilfer really throws that one on a rope, and it's caught by Brandon Stokely. And it is a 1st down, Ravens, a gain of 4. And Brandon Stokely out of southwestern Louisiana, his father Nelson was his head coach in college. Was battled back from injuries during his 2-year career, had a dislocated shoulder. And Stokely with 2 catches at 4 against Cleveland for 68 yards. He's a possession receiver with great speed.
What was that again?
He's a possession receiver with great speed. If that makes any sense. Here's a play fake. Dilfer down the field, looking for Johnson. Incomplete. No flag. And Rodney Harrison wanted a flag.
And he's got a little red paint on his uniform, too.
Right down there in that Ravens 2000 end zone.
And watch Patrick Johnson crossing over. He's going to go for the ball. And that's not even going for the ball. That's what they call don't let the defensive guy catch it. And I'm surprised Rodney wasn't complaining a little bit more. But sometimes you don't get those calls. And a little red paint on Patrick Johnson's glove there. So like, one thing we know for sure, there's some fresh paint in the end zone.
2nd down and 10 from the 46. Dilfer to the sideline. Stokely out of bounds. Once again, let's go to Jim Nantz in New York with an update.
Well, the Steelers' hopes are fading fast here, Gus, as Terry Collins hooks up with Ike Hilliard, bounces off a couple of tacklers, finds the end zone. 20-3 Giants. Back to Gus and Brett.
And the New York Giants in the NFC. Let's take a look at the NFC standings after the play. 3rd down and 3. Draw play, Priest Holmes. And he gets to the 40. Now the NFC playoff picture. Giants in good shape, especially with the win today.
And I think Minnesota, you can just feel they're going to be in. The West is where it's going to be the big battle, with Minnesota playing St. Louis today. And we're going to see how that ends up shaking down. Washington, it'll be interesting to see if they can fight back, Gus. But I can't believe that the Rams wouldn't be in a position to be in the playoffs.
And the Giants clinch with a win today or a loss by New Orleans or St. Louis. And a loss, rather. This ball touched by the Chargers. And they're pointing in the opposite direction.
I actually believe the ball landed on Deron Jenkins after he ran into his own return man. And it hit him on the back. Watch 23 coming into your picture. He trips into his own guy. Ball hits him right in the back. And Baltimore recovers.
Jackson with the recovery. Let's take another look. Trap pushing him into Nate Jacquet.
And not only knocking your own guy down, but laying on the ground and having the ball hit you.
Signal. The 2 players coming downfield, 1 kicking team player, 1 receiving team player, were blocking. As a result, this went off the receiving team player. The recovery by Baltimore is legal. It's their 1st down.
5 turnovers on the day. This is a muff.
Well, they call it a muff. I'd call it a bounce off the back.
And Lewis running the ball once again. He has 58 yards rushing on 20 carries and a touchdown.
And guess when you run down on punting, there's a call that you always have, a scatter call. Everybody's screaming scatter, scatter, scatter. That's if the ball's coming down, you got too many of your own guys in position, because you know if it hits you, it's a live ball for the other team. Deron Jenkins didn't hear the scatter call.
Lewis on the pitch. Jamal trying to get outside and is wrestled down at the 17-yard line by Gerald Dixon. Rodney Harrison getting up slowly.
And watch Junior Seau. Here's a guy, he will never get up. I'm faster than you. I'm getting outside. I'm getting on the back. See him right there, reach down, trip up Jamal Lewis. Just enough to let some of his teammates finish the job, and he's pointing him down, saying, I got you. You can hear him all the way up here. But I got you doesn't count as much when you're losing 17-3.
Miami on top of Tampa as you take a look around the NFL. Big game for Detroit and Green Bay, trying to keep their playoff hopes alive. 6-3 Packers. 3rd and 10. And this will be a delay of game against the Ravens.
Delay of game. Offense. 5-yard penalty. Remains 3rd down.
And Gus, when you come off a bye week, you're so concerned about being flat. And this Ravens defense definitely isn't flat, but this offense today isn't exactly what Brian Billick had hoped. And they've got to work themselves back into shape. When you give the guys a week off, you kind of lose that momentum, and they had some great momentum coming into this game, but the offense is definitely out of sync today.
3rd down at 15. Dilfer Underneath. Touchdown, Stokely. Not flat there, partner. The possession receiver with speed.
That's right. Nobody's ever described it that way.
And Stokely with the big touchdown.
The possession receiver with speed.
Stokely 4 catches, 55 yards. Extra point is good. Stokely with his second touchdown reception of the season.
Watch him going outside here. He's going to get upfield. Watch him make the out move and come back across. You see him fight across the face right there, the defender, Deron Jenkins. Feeling good for the new possession receiver with speed.
(24-3), Baltimore on top of San Diego. Under 5 to go here in the third, and the Ravens 1 win away from the playoffs.
Festivus.
You can't say playoffs around here. Jenkins from the 10 up to the 23. Monday on CBS, it's the holiday favorite you grew up with.
Well, today.
That's right. First and 10 on the 28. And here's Fletcher. Now let's go to Jim Nantz, who's always Festivus in the studio.
Hey, I love that term that Brent introduced to us today on the NFL Today. Third time today, McNair has thrown a touchdown pass. George has and all scored 3 touchdowns. They've got a little Festivus Maximus on their mind in Tennessee, too, there, guys.
All right, Jim.
Trying to get back to that Festivus Maximus.
That's right.
Tennessee team.
The playoffs, 2nd and 5. Fletcher again dancing and finally finds a crease and gets over the 35 up to the 37. Let's take a look at this great t-shirt. Happy Festivus, Baltimore style.
Yeah, they cannot say playoffs, and even Brian Billick told us they have a term for the Super Bowl, and they call it Festivus Maximus, and that's what their goal is. They want to get to the Festivus Maximus, and Edwin Muatalo had that printed up, spent the bye week. Should be selling those things. Could be making some extra dough.
3rd down and 1. Kazan. It'll be close. I don't think he got there. Corey Harris tackling him.
It's getting pretty tight out there. I think they're going to bring the chains in, Gus. In this Charger offense, it's just tough to be able to strike quickly all year. It's been tough for them, but especially against this Ravens defense.
And they are short by a chain link. So let's see. Why not?
You're 1 and 12.
And they are going to go for it.
24-3. There you go. Coach Riley saying, let's get half of a yard.
Not even that much.
The offensive line.
Let's see if Ryan Leaf will do the quarterback sneak once again.
What a little play action, really. I mean, what do you got to lose? Pound them up in there.
They're 2 of 11 on 4th down this season. Fletcher in motion out of the backfield. Ryan Leaf straight ahead, and he should have the 1st down.
Going left side this time, went to right guard last time. Clearly had enough this time to get that 1st down.
First down. Next Saturday, we've got a pretty good college basketball game for you as Stubby Smith takes his Kentucky Wildcats into East Lansing to take on the Spartans from Michigan State. That's Saturday, 1 o'clock Eastern Time on CBS. First down and 10 from the 39. And the play clock runs out. It'll be a delay of game.
Delay of game. Offense, the 5-yard penalty remains first down.
All right, so let's ask the question, Brent. I know we talk about this every time we call a San Diego game, and you don't want to talk about it, but you have to. What do the Chargers do with Ryan Leaf?
Well, I came out pretty strong a month ago saying you got to move on just because of the past and what's gone on. But he really has shown arm strength, throws that nobody can make, and we'll get back to it here in a minute.
Here's Ryan. Steps up, dumps it off, incomplete. Hiding, the closest man to the football. Had some time to throw there.
And I do have to give the young man credit because he has changed his attitude. We've had him enough this year. I've talked to enough people in the Chargers organization that he's really mellowed out. But now it's about, can he have a work ethic? Can he spend 5 or 6 hours in the offseason? And do you invest all that time and all that money again to have him come back and not perform? And so it's a tough call because obviously the second pick here a few years ago, a lot of potential, arm strength, can make some plays, but hasn't done it yet.
Second and 15. Leaf to the sideline, caught Conway. Nice move and picks up the first down at the 46 of the Ravens, a 19-yard gain.
Curtis Conway, him healthy, back in the lineup. You see a nice little push by right there. It's tough for the referees to see that one. Go on the in route, push by, run the out. Healthy Curtis Conway this whole season would have made a few differences for the San Diego offense.
Signed as a free agent coming over from the Bears, has had problems with his hamstring. Ryan Leaf now 5 of 14, 40 yards. First down. Kazan spins, wrapped up. Drop for a loss. Ray Lewis making the play. And what makes Ray Lewis so good, Brent?
Well, I think he can do it all. He can cover, he's got speed, unbelievable intensity, the best tackler. And I think one of the things that people don't realize, Jeff Fisher said it best here this last week, Ray Lewis doesn't get blocked. He gets off blocks, he avoids blocks. It's almost impossible to cut him. You see linebackers around the league getting cut down all the time. He just won't let it happen. He's great with his hands. He pushes off, he gets off, he's up inside the holes, penetrating. Nobody ever gets by him.
Second and 11. Leaf steps up in the pocket, dumps it off to Fazan, breaks the tackle, and he gets down to the 30-yard line. Nice play, great improvisation by Ryan Leaf, and it's a gain of 18. And that's the end of the third quarter with the score Baltimore 24, San Diego 3. We'll return to Baltimore after this word from your local station.
Good.
It's 31-yard line. Ninth play of the drive. Fazan to big tailback, wrapped up at the 29 by Ray Lewis. And a look at the scoring by quarters. Ravens piling it on in that third quarter. 5 turnovers today for the Chargers. 24-3 is our score.
Coming into the game, Gus, Baltimore was third in the NFL, 34 takeaways. Chargers were first in giveaways with 41, so it's played out just about right.
Second and 8. Leaf to Jones, and he underthrows him. Wow, Freddie Jones was wide open. He had beaten Kim Herring, and Jones a little upset. The AFC East standings, the Miami Dolphins taking on Tampa today, winning at home. They are 10-3, followed by the Jets, Colts, and Bills play Monday.
And that's whoever loses that one is definitely out.
Third down and 8. from the 29. Lee pumps, finds Fletcher. Fletcher breaks a tackle, still running, and he's close to the first down. Great individual effort by Terrell Fletcher. It's a gain of 10 yards.
We've been calling for that screen to Fletcher all game. We finally get it, but a little late. All the way to the fourth quarter, and Mike Riley had told us he's really got some make you miss in him. And here it's just nothing other than effort. You see the block right there in McCrary, then sneak back out into the flat. Fletcher does right here. Corey Harris, little stop, little juke, little make you miss. Just like Mike Riley told us. McCrary again, second chance.
First and 10. Kazan gets inside the 20-yard line to the 19. Jamie Sharper with the tackle.
And Gus, a huge collision.
Wow.
Jermaine Fazan and Sam Adams head to head. And watch Sam Adams. Let's watch 35 into the hole. Watch the recoil. Bang! Ooh! Sam Adams. Big Sam's been a stud all year, but his fellas are going to rip him come film time. What a shot.
Sam Adams at 380. Second and 9. Underneath, caught by Conway, still running, and ducks under. Curtis Conway and Ryan Leaf now starting to get a little rhythm. Leaf on the day, 8 of 18, 72 yards.
And you know this Ravens defense is trying to keep them out of this end zone. Of course, that's obvious statement, but they're really thinking about that all-time record. They don't want to give up some cheap points to San Diego here in the fourth quarter of a game that they already have under their belt.
14th play of the drive. It started at the 28. Play action, Lee finds McCrary. Runs over Starks and out of bounds at the 6. Fred McCrary, nice running after the catch. And here's your graphic, Brent, the historical defenses.
Let's see, let's put it the official number, 138 right now. And they're going for it. And these, you know, these teams, this Pittsburgh team won the Super Bowl, this Bears team won the Super Bowl, and Marvin Lewis done a great job with his defense. And talk about a young, up-and-coming, great coach, and ought to get a head job. I'm sure he's going to be talking to the folks in Houston this year.
Charlie Casserly will make that decision. Here's Fazan over the left side. And you really like what the Ravens have done with this organization. You look at what's happening in the Washington-Baltimore area with what Daniel Snyder is doing with the Redskins and how Peter Angelos has struggled with the Orioles. Art Modell has put together a terrific package for the Baltimore fans. Second and goal from the 6. Fletcher. Nowhere to go. Ray Lewis with the tackle and Sam Adams.
And I think Art Modell's best move was bringing in Brian Billick, and he's just created an atmosphere not only on the field but in the locker room. The players all love him. They all love playing for him. He does fun things. You know, this playoff thing, it started off, he was frustrated about hearing the playoffs, but I guarantee you they're talking about it amongst themselves. And whether they call it Festivus or playoffs, this team is going in the right direction because of what he's brought in their way, and their mentality, and their spirit.
Third and goal from the 7. Here's Lee. Throws it behind his receiver, incomplete. Hiding the intended receiver. So what do you do?
Well, you got to try to win the game, Gus. You don't try to kick field goals. If you want to try to win this game, you got to go for a touchdown.
So the Chargers will go for it. What can they run in this area?
Go with your best mismatch. Freddie Jones, big, tall, give him a chance. Even if he's covered, put it up, give him a chance to catch the ball. He's your red zone threat.
He lines up on the slot at the bottom of your screen. Leaf in the end zone, incomplete. Bazan, the intended receiver, and Leaf put a little too much on that pass. So the Chargers turn it over on downs. And here come the Ravens back on offense.
Sleeping bag for his first sleepover.
Art Modell celebrating his 40th anniversary in the National Football League, and before the game he was the only introduction, hugging his son David. Mr. Modell vilified for leaving Cleveland, and he has brought a winner to Baltimore. This is Lewis running the football over the left side. Gets to the 10. Art Modell standing, and he is 10 minutes and 22 seconds away from going to the playoffs.
We're going to the playoffs, man! There
As
you go.
that fan tells us there.
Little wave. 23 years. You know what? Ray Lewis was 2. Jamal Lewis wasn't even born.
Wow. Last time the Baltimore organization made it to the playoffs, December 24th, 1977. They were defeated by the Raiders 37-31. And here is the run. Priest Holmes. With a trip to the Super Bowl on the line, the Baltimore Colts hosted John Madden. That's not him. That's McCaffrey and the Oakland Raiders. There's a young John Madden. Baltimore rookie running back Norm Bulash scored a touchdown, 2 touchdowns as a matter of fact in the game. The Colts carried Don McCaffrey to the Super Bowl, 27-17. Their last playoff win in Baltimore.
I got him!
To the sideline, caught by Ismail, knocked out of bounds. And he got pummeled.
Sometimes you know you're going to get hit. You're trying to keep your feet in bounds, and that ball's right there. You got to straddle the sideline, keep your feet in. And Rodney Harrison's going to hit you. And Qadri Ismail's been perfect with his feet today. We saw the touchdown before, keeping the feet in. Look at that little tiptoe dance, taking a shot.
6 catches, 80 yards, and Art Modell celebrating already. Play action, Dilfer. Finds Lewis, great catch. Turns it up, breaks it back. Man, is this kid good. 19-yard gain. Wow.
And that is in a nutshell why Jamal Lewis is a great player. Watch him make the catch out of the backfield. This is a tough grab. This is really low. Get down, going away from you. Now watch the strength. Push by the linebacker, cut back inside, speed getting upfield, shake and bake, make you miss. All of them combined in one play. And a lot of times you see guys just drop that ball.
Jamal with 3 catches for 39 yards. First and 10. Priest Holmes spinning, and Priest gets to the 36-yard line. 7:34 to go in the 4th quarter. The AFC Central still a battle. Tennessee beating Cincinnati today. Baltimore will win here against San Diego. And Pittsburgh is trailing big at the Giants, so they will be eliminated.
I'm crossing them out. Dunsville, Jacksonville, disappointing. Nobody else with a chance, so it's going to be Tennessee and Baltimore in the Central.
Dilfer underneath, incomplete. And the AFC West standings, Oakland and Denver, it's going to be a fight to the finish. Big game for the Raiders today at home against the Jets. Denver against Seattle, and the Broncos are right on their heels, Brent.
Watch out for the Broncos, and they have 2 wins over the Raiders this year. Mike Shanahan owns Al Davis, and they beat him again twice this year, and so Denver would have that tiebreaker.
Third and 11 from the 36. Offside on the Chargers.
Encroachment. Number 51, defense. It's a 5-yard penalty. Remains third down.
Gerald Dixon. And the NFC West, New Orleans on top along with St. Louis. Remember Kurt Warner against the Panthers last week, 4 interceptions in his return.
And they've got a tough one versus the Vikings today. The Saints without Ricky Williams, can they hang on down the stretch? You know, they've got the great defense. I still see St. Louis winning that division, though.
Third down at 6. Dilfer changes the play. Dilfer dumps it off to Priest Holmes, and Holmes drops the ball, but they say he's down at the 46-yard line.
And once that whistle blows, Gus, you know that's not reviewable. That's down by contact, and there's nothing you can do about it, so they're calling him down. Looked like the right call.
We continue to look around the NFL in the Central. Minnesota, the class of the division, followed by Tampa Bay playing Miami today. Detroit facing Green Bay. Detroit will play the Jets next weekend.
So the Lions have a tough go of it. In Tampa Bay, they're the classic Jekyll and Hyde team this year. You never know what you're going to get.
Kyle Richardson from the 31. High spiraling kick. Fair punt and drop. Nate Jacquet, I think he pounced on it after dropping it. 40-yard punt. Ray Lewis, he's my partner's MVP. You know what? I can't argue with him.
They opened the doors of the internet to a new kind of store.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by NASDAQ.com. Who can tell you more about stocks than the stock market? DirecTV. DirecTV. Feel the joy. And by Canon. With thousands of products and one simple idea. Giving people know-how. Canon know-how.
Subway post-game show. Join Jim, Mike, and Craig for all the scores and highlights, plus the latest NFL playoff news. That's all coming up on the Subway post-game show.
First down and 10, Ryan Leaf dances out of the pocket, throws, incomplete. Jones couldn't get both feet in bounds. Very nice job, Brent, reading the promos. Now you're going to take my job. How about this? Bird on a wire. I believe it's an owl.
Yeah, I was hoping you weren't going to call it a raven. I was going to be all over you. Yeah, that was fun reading that promo.
Okay.
It's easy.
Oh, I see. Second and 10. Draw play. Fletcher stumbles forward and gets to the 23. Rod Woodson with the tackle. Fletcher gutting it out. 15 carries, make it 16 carries. 44 yards, and the great Rod Woodson, who moved from cornerback last year to safety, and he's heading to the Pro Bowl again.
Well, he's having a great year, really keeping this young defensive backfield, the Ravens, together. Very focused, been to a Super Bowl, knows what it's all about.
Third down, 3. Ryan Leaf knocked down, incomplete. Flag on the play. Lionel Dalton getting a hand on the football. And a holding penalty against the Chargers. And they probably will decline this one.
Holding. Number 62 offense. That penalty is declined. 4th down.
Now next Saturday, the NFL on CBS gets off to an early start with a special national presentation. It'll be Rich Gannon and the playoff-hungry Oakland Raiders taking on the Seattle Seahawks. It all starts with Jim Nance and company on the NFL Today at a special time, 3:30 Eastern. Darren Bennett in the punt, standing at the 7. Jermaine Lewis back deep at the 34. Here's Jermaine at the 30. Jermaine Lewis! Taken down at the 37. A 33-yard return for Jermaine Lewis. And there's Jamal Lewis. He'll try to add to it. Under 5 to play in the fourth quarter. Back to Baltimore after this.
This is my killer DVD system.
2 as well. It's the holiday season. You might as well add another one.
That is right.
Christmas, Festivus, Kwanzaa, Hanukkah. First down at 10 from the 38-yard line. Lewis all the way down to the 30. An 8-yard gain.
You see him starting to wear down the San Diego defense, but it's tough. 6th time today that the Ravens have started in San Diego territory.
Coming up on the Subway post-game show, Jim Nantz and company will have scores and highlights. That's all coming up on the Subway post-game show. 2nd down, 2 from the 30. Lewis, 24 carries, 69 yards, 1 touchdown. This time it's Sam Gash running the football straight ahead. The executive producers of the National Football League on CBS are Sean McManus and Terry Ewert. Today's game was produced by Robert Herman Mansbach and the director Stephen Milton. The coordinating producer of CBS Sports is Harold Bryant. The associate director Sean Gerchikoff and the broadcast associate Paul Shaver. Our statistician Baltimore native Russ Delenn and our spotter Ben Calhoun. He traveled all the way up from D.C.
He heard it was a Festivus.
Here's Lewis once again. First down, Ravens. Clock continues to run. So 3:18 and count.
And we've talked so much, Gus, about Jamal Lewis. You've got to talk about this offensive line for the Ravens. These guys have really come together, been a cohesive unit this second half of the season.
There's Art Modell. 3 minutes away. Lewis down the sideline. Tiptoes out of bounds. And I tell you, this young man runs hard from the opening play to the final play.
And you know, so many rookies hit that rookie wall, but he dislocated his elbow his first scrimmage this year. Missed the preseason. Probably gave him some extra freshness to carry him throughout the rest of the season. And so he's still fresh. He hasn't hit that wall. Hopefully he won't hit that wall.
And you see the Ravens up big 24-3, running the football. A win, and they clinch a playoff spot. Lewis once again, big opening, down to the 9.
And he's getting mighty close to a 100-yard day, Gus. That's probably about 90 yards.
Matter of fact, it's 27 carries, 88 yards for Jamal, young man from Atlanta, Georgia. And what a beautiful scene here in Baltimore. The city of Baltimore, rather, ready to go to the playoffs for the first time since 1977, when the Colts were here. Loyal fans braving the elements, still rooting on the home team. 2 minutes to go.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Blockbuster, bringing entertainment home. And by Budweiser, with a crisp, clean, refreshing taste you'll find in no other beer.
Welcome back. 24-3, 2 minutes remaining. The Ravens 2 minutes away from the postseason. A guaranteed spot into the postseason, and they got Coach Brian Billick. And guess who the leader was? Tony Siragusa. And Sam Gash, the blocking back, Brian Billick, giving the Gatorade shower. 2nd down and 3. Lewis running the football, and he stopped at the 8-yard line. Tonight on 60 Minutes, why are .com companies that people counted on to make them rich suddenly going broke? Let 60 Minutes tell you why tonight, followed by an all-new episode of Touched by an Angel. Then Dean Cain and Maya Angelou star in the Hallmark Hall of Fame presentation, The Runaway. It's all here. Don't miss it tonight on CBS.
Well, let the Festivus begin.
The Festivus. Now, I think they can talk about it. Now, what do you think of their chances in the playoffs?
Best defense, solid run game. A few plays in the pass game, they've definitely got a shot. You figure they'll probably host a home playoff game. And I think around the league, most teams will probably be most afraid to play the Ravens right now in the AFC.
And they bring in Stover. And now they bring him off the field. Brian Billick refusing to run up the score on the Chargers. And we criticized him earlier this year against Cincinnati. We thought that he was running up the score, but he explained it to us that he did not run up the score. When they put 8 or 9 men in the box, they won't allow you to run the football. And that's what happened with the Bengals. So Stover taken off the field. They get a first down anyway. And let's see what happens here. 1:02 to go. Back to Baltimore after this.
You could be the best driver on the field.
50 seconds away from the playoffs. The Ravens take a knee. And there should be one more play. Fans here celebrating in Baltimore, Maryland. They have a great chance. If you remember the Titans last year, advancing to the Super Bowl as a wild card team. And the Ravens take the final play. That'll do it. Trent Dilfer, new life here in Baltimore. Brian Billick in only his 2nd year. He's got these guys headed to the postseason. So for Brent Jones, I'm Gus Johnson saying so long for Baltimore, where our final score is 24-3 Ravens. Coming up next, stay tuned for the Subway postgame show with Jim Nantz. The Ravens are heading to the playoffs. You've been watching the National Football League on CBS, home of Super Bowl 35. Jim Nantz in New York after this.
Last year, this team humiliated us in our house. Now we're in their house.